Hi, I'm Lisa Copeland, and I'm the managing partner of FIAT of Austin. I wanted to be a fashion designer, and that's what I went to school for, was fashion merchandising. And I got in the car business by accident. I was in college, and I had wrecked my car, and because I was a fashion major, I spent all the money my parents gave me that I was supposed to spend on insurance. I spent it all on clothes. So when I wrecked my car, I found out that I didn't have any insurance. And so back in the day, if you were selling cars, you got a free car to drive. And so that's how I got in the car business, just totally by accident, literally. That's where I think the car business has failed, because that's why there's not more women in the car business, because the young females that you bring in, they have no one to aspire to. In the dealerships, they don't have female managers, so it's, who do they want to be when they grow up? Not the guy behind the desk. And so that's why a lot of them drop out. And I think that's why a lot of women drop out of life and drop out of what I think should be their destiny, is because they don't have somebody they can look to and say, if she did it, I can do it. I'm really grateful I didn't miss my destiny. And I know it was my destiny, and I know that that's part of why I think that I've been so successful. But that's just a great point. I think you do need to be aware of your surroundings, because sometimes I think you're put into a position that is your destiny. And so you've got to be aware, and you've got to really think through what you're doing and why you're doing it, and are you passionate about it? And if you are, it's probably your destiny. A woman who's not a corporate leader, she still lays awake all night, and she worries about her kids, and she worries about her job, whatever level that job is. I think she's concerned about it. I have to worry about not only my job, but the jobs of 250 employees that we have through our organization. But my worries and my fears aren't any different than hers. They're just larger, but they're the same, because I think as women, we're transparent and we're authentic, and we worry and we care about the world around us. So whether it's just our family, if it's a stay-at-home mom, or if you sit in my position, you've got 250 employees. And not only do I worry about myself, my family, but I worry about them and their families. One day at a time. I think the older I get, the wiser I get. And, I just know that fear is not something, you can never bow to fear. You just have to face everything head on, every problem head on. You can't sweep things under the rug, whether it's with your employees, with your business, and women tend to want to do that sometimes, because we're not confrontational by nature. And it probably took me 15 years in this business to really learn how to let somebody go, to counsel an employee, to not be afraid to confront a problem. So I think that's training and conditioning too. I think the more you do it, the more you get used to it, unfortunately and fortunately. I even find myself holding back sometimes because I don't want to say the wrong thing, or because I know that they're going to judge me for every word that comes out of my mouth. So I put a lot of thought into what I say, which I normally wouldn't do in a business situation. I kind of just say what I need to say. But what I know that I bring is that I bring a different perspective. When it comes to the advertising, I'm usually the one shooting it down, saying, well, how does that appeal to women? I don't understand. We don't need sexy ads. That doesn't help women want to buy cars. When it comes to product design, I say, I talk to them about things that are inside the car that could be better, or more women-friendly, more child-friendly. It's just things that the guys don't think about. So I know that I bring that to the table. But I try to do it in a collaborative way, so that I'm not that woman sitting at the table. So I'm very careful. I think about it. I typically write it all down, and then I bring it back to council the next day and have a discussion. If I don't say it out loud, if I don't put it out there that we're going to do it, it won't happen. And that's what I know sent me into overdrive, because I couldn't fail for a million different reasons. For the embarrassment for our dealership, for our brand, the fact that I would never meet my hero, and because I'd made a bet. And so I tell people, if you want something bad enough, you have to say it out loud. Because if you say it out loud and you put it to the universe, you're held to much higher accountability to achieve it. And I lived that firsthand. There's sacrifice to get to the top. You have to sacrifice things. You have to sacrifice time with your family, sacrifice time with your friends. I left the car business when my kids were young. And so I always say I left because I had to, because I wanted to raise my kids. And I started another business, a mortgage company, did very well. And then I came back because I wanted to, because I wasn't sacrificing my kids' lives. And so I think as women, we have to make really hard choices, because I never wanted to leave when I left, but I chose my kids and I chose my family. And then when my kids had gone to college, I chose to come back because I could. And so that would be just one less sacrifice I'd have to make, was a Saturday soccer game. You know, I still sacrifice a lot of time and whatever, but when you take the kids out of the equation, the sacrifices aren't near as big. And so I was really lucky to be able to do that. And every single day I feel for the moms trying to juggle, you know, work, home, life balance, because it doesn't exist. You will sacrifice.